Hey everybody, it's good to see you. It's February. We're in Orlando, Florida at the Kingdom Advisors Conference. And with me today is Tim Schwarzenberger, a portfolio manager at Inspire, and also our director of corporate engagement. Tim, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the opportunity to join.
I am looking forward to having you share with us a little bit about what it means to engage corporations and challenge them from a faith perspective. Can you just take a few minutes and explain how that works and what Inspire is doing
Sure.
in that realm for Kingdom Impact?
Right. I think a lot of folks will be familiar with screening companies out of your portfolio, right? You're negatively screening companies that are involved in activities that are contrary to our Christian beliefs and virtues and values. Engagement is part of that. It's where it's the message of Christ, right? Christ sat down with sinners, prostitutes, tax collectors, and brought the gospel message to them. So if we're only pulling out companies from our portfolio, but we're not actually bringing the gospel message, we're only doing one side of the equation. And so engagement is bringing gospel values to those companies. And so we will bring issues of importance to Christian investors to the boardrooms of companies and speak biblical truth to corporate power.
That's awesome. And it goes right along with what we've been teaching our clients, and that capital is influence. And we can make a difference when we understand what companies are doing and then choosing which ones to invest in. Do you have any stories or details you can share related to some of the positive changes that you've seen or been able to help influence?
Yeah, there's too many wins this year to even talk about, but I want to first kind of set the stage for the discussion. So last year I had the idea that, I really need to get advisors more involved in our engagement efforts. And because we own ETFs, but we screen a lot of companies out, some of the big names, but through legacy portfolios, through our advisor relationships, we hold a lot of companies that I would love to switch positive by bringing those gospel values to those companies. So, there's this dichotomy, this, I think, false dichotomy that you either do screening or you do engagement. We do both. We engage just like the gospel message and bringing those values to the company. So perhaps some of your listeners are familiar with what happened with Meta. I mean, that was a big one where we filed a resolution. And for those of your listeners who don't know what a resolution is, every year a company will have an annual general meeting where voters are allowed to vote on different issues, mostly routine matters, but every once in a while there'll be shareholder proposals. And so we're, as owners of companies or working on behalf of your clients and our advisors, we're able to file shareholder resolutions. And some of the issues that we focus on are freedom of speech, freedom of religion, debanking in the financial services sector, and also censorship, which we talked about with Meta. And more recently, we've been doing a lot of work on abortion, trying to get companies to not get involved in the abortion business. And the angle that we take with most companies is we want companies to stay in their lane, right? We want companies to provide excellent products and services and not get involved in divisive political issues that at the end of the day expose them to customer backlash, reduce employee morale, and also expose them to legal risk. And we're seeing more and more companies that are involved in shareholder lawsuits or just lawsuits in general. And so that's what we're trying to do, say, companies, just stay in your lane, don't get involved in divisive political issues, and just stay neutral on hot button political topics.
Excellent. And it's super exciting for me to see and to be part of that and to understand that has positive changes not only for our consumer economy, but the employees of those organizations and how the management may look at them or treat them or the policies that they have in place.
Yes.
And it's good to be able to make sure biblical values are being discussed around the corporate board table.
So let me give you a couple examples because you're mentioning the employees. I already mentioned Meta, and I didn't kind of flesh that out a lot, but basically your listeners will remember earlier in January where Mark Zuckerberg made the decision that he's going to end censorship at Meta, which is a big deal because I mean, this is like one of the largest tech companies and they're making the decision that they're not going to censor anymore, very similar to what Twitter did. Well, we filed a resolution on that exact issue on censorship. and we've been working with that company. And the day after, we met with those executives on that issue. So that's how you can make a difference with your wallet,
Sure.
with your investments. But another example, going back to employees, Walmart.
Okay.
We've engaged Walmart on a couple of issues. One is on DEI, right? They're the largest employer in the United States. They employ like 1.8 million people. And so if they can make changes, that sets the stage for other companies to follow. So we worked with them on DEI, and you notice that they changed their policies on that.
Sure.
We're also working with them right now on selling the abortion pill mifepristone. So we filed a resolution on behalf of investors on that particular issue. So we're able to make a difference. We're just scratching the surface. There's so many examples that I could give, but I'm sure that gives enough
That's perfect.
Information to get a sense of what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and that fits well. And as always, we commit to trying to keep these in bite-sized segments for you to understand. But hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight into some of the work that goes behind the scenes. And when you hear us talk about the investments we place in your portfolio and how we look to make sure they're aligned with your values, understanding that what we invest in, that's powerful. Money talks in our investment economy today, and your capital can influence corporations in a positive way. We hope that you continue to stick with us. Thanks for trusting us, and I hope this helps you understand what corporate engagement can look like and how it's making a positive kingdom impact.
Yeah, and thank you, Michael. I want to just end with, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do without Michael and Derek and others on his team, and also with you, first believing in what we're doing and helping us file these resolutions. So thank you, Michael.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you here. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.